Study about the same and the continuation. In that we are going to study about the type of chemical reaction in that combination reaction, decomposition reaction, and just to introduction to displacement reaction. Okay, let's start it. I have given you my homework, that is to fill this table. So here I have done it. So hydrogen is H, helium is He, lithium is Li, beryllium is Be, boron is B, and carbon is C. Like that I have written till everything. And here one is iron. In this iron second, iron third is there. Iron second is ferrous and iron third is ferric, which is their atomic number is, not the atomic number, their value is 2 and 3. Okay. Now today we are going to study about the types of chemical reaction. That is, first we are going to learn about the combination reaction. When two reactants combine to form a single product, it is called a combination reaction. That's like here I have given an example, that is A element. When it's combined with B element, it forms A and B. In the similar way, if one reactant combines with another reactant to form a product, so that is called combination, combining. So here is one example, that is hydrogen plus oxygen gives that is water. So here hydrogen and a different element and oxygen a different element combining to form water. So here I have balanced it. No, I'm not balanced it. Here is missing. It should be 2 in hydrogen place also. But here I have written symbols. Hydrogen is gaseous form, oxygen is gaseous form, and water is liquid form. Next, some more examples is there. So first in this lesson we saw example of magnesium reacting with oxygen. Here we can take this equation for combination reaction. So when magnesium reacts with oxygen, it gives magnesium oxide. And in the reader, the example is this one, calcium oxide. When reacts with water, it gives calcium hydroxide and releases heat. So that is calcium oxide. We can also call it as quicklime. This you have to remember because this is very important. The another name calcium oxide, the another name, as well as calcium hydroxide, its another name is slaked lime. So that is very important. Another one is burning of coal. When carbon it reacts with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. So see, I have written it clearly what is what. So you can take the screenshot of it. So calcium oxide is quicklime, calcium hydroxide is slaked lime, and calcium carbonate is limestone. These three things you have to remember it properly. And here I have written CO, that is carbon monoxide, and another CO, that is cobalt. So you may not get confusion here and there. Next, decomposition reaction. In combination reaction, there is no big thing. It is very easy to learn. Now next, going for decomposition reaction. Decomposition is just opposite of combination reaction. It is a reaction in which a single reactant breaks down to give two or more simpler products. It's like A element and B element are combined. That is a reactant. It breaks down to give two or more products, that is A plus B, in that form. It's a direct opposite of it. Here is some example, that is ferrous sulfate. When it is heated, when it, that is a reactant, it when it is heated it forms ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So I have given iron in in two form, that is iron 2 and iron 3. Here is that iron 2 means it is ferrous sulfate, Iron 3 means it is ferric oxide. So you need not to confusion it. The iron, it has two forms. So one is ferrous and one is ferric. Ferrous is 2, ferric is 3. So this is a very very important example. It has been asked for exam to balance it. And next one is calcium carbonate. When it is heated, it gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium carbonate, another name for it is limestone. And decomposition reaction is always carried by heating. You have to remember it. Next, here another one important equation, that is lead nitrate. When it is heated, it gives lead oxide as well as nitrogen dioxide, oxygen. So lead nitrate, when it is heated, it gives lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. And this equation is also very very important. It also has been asked for exam. So in this decomposition reaction, there are three main types, that is thermal decomposition, electrolysis decomposition and photolysis decomposition. As you hear the name thermal decomposition, it means the reaction, it takes place by heating, and electrolysis is by electricity and photolysis is by light. So let us see and understand about it detailedly. So thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition is when the decomposition reaction is carried out by heating, then that is a thermal decomposition. So some examples are previous examples. You can take this lead nitrate. When a reaction is carried out by heat, that is thermal decomposition. And this ferrous sulfate, it is heated, and for thermal decomposition, to indicate that above the arrow mark you have to write heat, or else it will not become a thermal decomposition, because you are not representing it is this reaction is done by heating. To write the equation in decomposition reaction, you have to write heat. And next, electrolysis decomposition. When the decomposition reaction is carried out by electricity, then that is electrolysis decomposition. So, when electric current is used for decomposing a substance, it's called electrolysis. Like here, the decomposition reaction is carried out by electricity. Electricity is used to decompose, to separate, to decompose the reactant into two or more products. So here the main one process here, main one activity or diagram we can say, that is electrolysis of water. It is very 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 important. The diagram is very very important. It has been asked most of the final exams of SLC. So next, the electrolysis of water. The process in which water is decomposed by passing electricity is called electrolysis of water. This is just a process in which water, it is decomposed, means it is water H2O, it is decomposed, that is hydrogen and oxygen, it being separated by passing electricity. It is called as electrolysis of water. Okay, electrolysis of water. This diagram is very very important. In this diagram, it shows that take a plastic mug. So you have to take a plastic mug, drill two holes at its base. You have to drill two holes at its base and fit a rubber stopper in these holes. Insert a carbon electrodes in these rubber stoppers. You have to take a mug and you have to make two holes, and you have to fit a rubber stopper in these holes and also insert carbon electrodes in these rubber stoppers and connect these electrodes to a 6-volt battery. So you have to connect these electrodes to 6-volt battery. That is, in electrodes there is anode and cathode, which is very very important. And fill the mug with water such that the electrodes are immersed. So you have to fill that mug with water. How? That the electrodes are immersed, full covered, and few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to the water, and you have to add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4. Take two test tubes filled with water and inverted them over the two carbon electrodes. And then you have to take two test tubes and you have to invert it over them and switch on the current and leave apertures undisturbed for some time. You will observe the formation of bubbles at both the electrodes. So what will the observation? It will be you will observe a bubbles formation in the both the test tubes, and these bubble displays water in the test tubes. Okay. Uh, Now here the question is the volume of gas collected in both test tubes are same? No, because the volume of one of the gas is hydrogen is twice the volume of the gas oxygen. Okay, I will explain it clearly. Because here anode, it in that electrode the gas content is oxygen, and cathode the gas collected is hydrogen, so the volume is not same. Next, they have asked a question that once the test tube are filled with respective gases, remove them carefully. These gases are filled in test tubes. We have to remove to check which type of gas it is. So, how to check it? One test tube you have to bring near fire. So if the fire burns with a pop sound, then that is hydrogen. So keep this, remember, you have to check that is a hydrogen gas. That means you have to bring a burning candle near to that gas, and if that gas burns with pop sound, then that is hydrogen gas. And if the burning candle burns very vigorously, that means that is oxygen, because oxygen is very helping in burning of fire. So that is then that is oxygen. So why this dilute sulfuric acid we have added? Why? So we have added this dilute sulfuric acid to formation of bubbles, so it helps in it. Next, and here you can arise a question that why in only anode the oxygen is there, not in cathode, and why cathode only hydrogen is there. So let's see in this. See, I have given you homework. Just try to think about it. Why always oxygen is released to anode, and why always hydrogen is released to cathode in electrolysis of water experiment. Just think about it, and I will give it answer in next class. I surely explain this process once again. Okay, now let's go for photolysis decomposition. That is, the decomposition it is carried out by sunlight. That is, if the decomposition reaction is carried out by sunlight, then such decomposition reaction is known as photolysis decomposition. So here are few examples. That is silver chloride, when it is burned with, that means when it is reacted with sunlight, it gives silver and chlorine. It is decomposing. Here are same silver chloride. I have balanced it. And next one is silver bromine. That also silver plus bromine. It is been. So you need to learn the equations, every equation with their symbols very clearly, and also balancing them. You have to learn it very well. And here anode is positive, okay, and cathode is negative. So anode is positive, cathode is negative. Okay, next we are going to learn about the exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. It is very simple. Just you have to understand it. So exothermic reaction, it is a reaction in which large amount of heat is released along with the formation of products. It is It is heat is released, not heat is used for it to decompose. Don't be confusion with thermal decomposition and exothermic reaction. Thermal decomposition reaction is heat is used to react. Here heat is released when a reaction happens. Here exothermic reaction in which, for example, I can give burning of natural gas. So when methane it burns with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide and water. That means here heat is also released. Large amount of heat is released means, for example, if you are doing a chemical, in your chemistry class you are doing mixing a chemical. So when you are mixing a concentrated sulfuric acid to any other of reaction, I mean chemical, and you can feel the heat you can feel. That is called exothermic reaction. That is, heat is released. In that reaction, heat is released. In thermal decomposition reaction, heat is not released, but heat is used to react. So don't be confused. And respiration is a very very important equation. You have to learn it thoroughly. So that is also one main example for exothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction is fully opposite of exothermic reaction. In this reaction, it absorbs the energy from the surrounding in the form of heat. It gives cold you can say. It releases heat and it releases, exothermic reaction releases heat, and endothermic reaction it will releases cold. It is absorbing the heat. It is, exothermic reaction is releasing the heat, and thermal decomposition is, in that reaction is done through heat. Understood? I hope it is clear. And here is one example. If you buy this example, it's very very good. And if you're not able to balance this, I mean learn this reaction, you can find out any other equation for this endothermic reaction. I think this endothermic reaction equation is not asked that much, but I don't know this year what will happen, so it is better you learn any easiest equation. If I can, I will share to you all. And next, here till we have studied about two types, that is combination reaction and decomposition reaction. Now next we are going to learn about the displacement reaction. In that very main you have to learn, that is reactivity series. So here are some reactivity series of elements. So potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold. So you have to buy this as same as it. You have to buy it like order wise, not up and down. So for this I have find out one way, that is Katrina ने कार मांगी ऑल्टो जेन फेरारी फिर भी क्यों मिले सिल्वर ऑडी. In that one middle hydrogen is missing, but that you have to remember, or you have to find anything about it. But this Katrina ने कार मांगी ऑल्टो जेन फेरारी फिर भी क्यों मिले सिल्वर ऑडी. Katrina, then that K is there, so that is potassium. Ne, in that Na, that is sodium. Car, Ca, calcium. Mangi, Mg, magnesium. Alto, Al, aluminium. Zen, that is Zn, zinc. Ferrari, Fe, iron. Fir B, P and B, lead and hydrogen blank. Next, copper, that is KYUQ, just interchange, that is CuQ. And mercury, that is milli, but you can understand that is mercury, so you can read Hg. And silver, it is Ag, Audi, Au, gold. So I hope this one statement will help you in this biting this reactivity series. It is very very important to by head this reactivity series. So displacement reaction I will do it in next class. Before that you have to by head this series. It is very very important. Without knowing this you can't learn displacement reaction. Okay, let us do quick recap what we have done today. So first we have done about the types of chemical reaction in that combination reaction, that is when two reactants combine to form a single product, it is called a combination reaction. Here are some examples. And next we learned about decomposition reaction. In this direct opposite of combination reaction, it is a reaction in which single reactant breaks down to give two or more simpler products. In this, about the aroma, it is very important to write heat, or else it is not considered as decomposition reaction. And there are many more equations that is very important. And there are three types of decomposition reaction, that is thermal decomposition, electrolysis decomposition, and photolysis decomposition. So thermal decomposition is when the decomposition reaction is carried out by heating, then that is a thermal decomposition reaction. So in exam they may ask find out thermal decomposition reaction. In that, okay, they may ask like that. So you can directly check. First, you have to check that is a decomposition or not. It should be in the form of combined reactant to break down into simpler products. Okay, so in above the aroma there will be heat, that is thermal decomposition. And next we learn about the electrolysis decomposition. It when the decomposition reaction is carried out by electricity, then that electrolysis decomposition. So in this so here is one more equation for this, and this electrolysis of water I will explaining in next class very clearly, as now I have given something twisting question to think you, so you have to solve it. So water, it is decomposed by electricity to form, to give hydrogen and oxygen. So above the arrow mark there should be written electricity. Next we learn about the photolysis decomposition, that is if the decomposition reaction is carried out by sunlight, then such decomposition reaction is photolysis decomposition. Here the simple is the same. So above the arrow mark it should be written sunlight. So next is exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction, a reaction in which large amount of heat is released along the formation of products. Here are some examples. And endothermic reaction, a reaction that absorbs energy from its surrounding in the form of heat. So it is reactivity theory. It is very important to learn. And this so in this lesson it is very important to learn all the equation as well as balancing equation, as well as to write the symbols. It's very important. Each and every equation is very important. And to balancing the equation you have to try day by day one equation, so you may not forget it how to balance, and you have to learn all the names of it. Okay, I hope this session is very good and very helpful. So by saying this I will end up this session. Thank you.